How's it going, everybody? I wanted to do kind of a quick to-the-point video today about tractors. And I'm sitting on a Kubota. This is the Kubota B3350. It's 33 horsepower. I think it's like 24 at the PTO, or maybe the high 20s. And this video is not going to really be about all the specs and how much it can lift and all that. This is more going to be about my opinion on tractors, things I wish I would have known before I actually purchased this tractor. This is my first tractor, so I came from a zero-turn mower straight to the tractor. That's my background. I've had it now for almost 4 years exactly. I've put 213 hours, I looked at the hour meter before starting this video. I put 213 hours on this tractor, so I've had a lot of time behind the steering wheel. So I wanted to give y'all, again, this isn't a plug-in for Kubota. I really love the Kubota. It's what I'd get all over again, and that's just kind of what I like. Now, this is not a plug for Kubota. I do like the company, and I really love the quality of the tractors. But this is really a video, even though I'm sitting on a Kubota, this is really a video about if you're in the market for a tractor. Regardless of what brand you end up going with, I just want to kind of give you my opinion on it, my experience with it, and maybe it'll help you make a decision. Because there's not a perfect tractor. It's just whatever's right for you, whatever fits your budget. So I'll give you a quick tour of this tractor in particular, and then we'll talk about some things as we go along. I'll start real quick with the nitpicky stuff I don't really care for. I wish I would have done a little different. Again, this isn't a deal breaker. It's just, there's no perfect tractor. So just like there's no perfect anything. So I don't really care on this particular model. Again, this is the Kubota 3350. My engine is steaming because I actually just cleaned it up. Just got done with the big project. So anyway, the fuel cap is up top. They've got a reason for it. I don't know why, but anyway, that's a hassle, having to fill it up and holding the gas can up there. That's a hassle. And then the seat is very uncomfortable. Whenever you're working on, just kind of rough terrain like this, I get pretty tore up, and all I have is them springs there. So I can probably upgrade. I don't know, and maybe I'll look into it. But that's just what came standard. But if you're already paying, $20,000 or more, I think it should have come with it. Okay, so we'll start from the front. Another thing I wanted to mention that I wish I would have done different is I do a lot of like woodwork and logs and branches and things. And as you can see, I had a heavy branch fall on that guard there and bend it. And thank goodness it was there, or it would have really busted my hood there. I do wish they would have put a better grill guard up front. And I'll come back around. I'll finish up with the grapple. But as you can see, the grapple is open, and I've got logs and stuff that work their way through there when you're just ramming into a pile of brush. And it doesn't take much. And my grill, as you can see, if you can see it with the harsh sunlight there, is pretty tore up. So one time it actually went and even about ruined my battery cables. So that was a pretty bad one, probably the worst of them. So I wish they would have put a better guard there. So here it is from the side. Like I said, it's 33 horsepower in the engine and the high 20s in the back. I believe y'all can double check me on that, on the specs. I got the quick hitch, which I also really recommend for changing out back implements. I don't change out my back implements that much. I mostly just leave the box blade just for the counterweight, and I'll occasionally hook up the rotary cutter. But when I change it or have to change it, it is absolutely worth having that in the back there. So it was about $500, I think, for the dealer to do it, the Land Pride brand. So that is for this particular tractor, I could only have the 5-foot box blade is what it could pull. Not the 6-foot, but that's okay. So coming around the side, I got the third valve function here, also done by the dealer. So you can find videos to do it yourself. I just kind of, like I said, my first tractor, so I just kind of wanted it done right. I didn't want to have any problems. So come along the front there, and next we'll pop the hood. Okay, here's under the hood, and that branch I referred to earlier. Yeah, see, it popped. You may not be able to see it, but it kind of bent some stuff in here, and it about popped my coolant overflow thing there. So let's see. All right, just cleaned it, so it's looking good. It was looking pretty rough there earlier. So the oil, you can see it over there. Now another thing is the dipstick oil dipstick is kind of hard to get to. That's another thing I wish they would have kind of probably put a little differently, a little easier to get to. So, but again, it's just nitpicky stuff. The biggest complaint, this ain't Kubota's deal, is that regen. It always regens at the most inconvenient time, but that's all environmental stuff. So it's not really Kubota's fault, but that's just kind of, it's just something you have to deal with now if you go over, I believe it's 26 horsepower. So let me give you a visual here from the side. Okay, the current attachment I have on the front is the Everything Attachments Wicked Grapple 55. And for the type of work I do, this thing is worth its weight in gold. Because this was a smaller tractor, I know you can get other grapples, and I'm sure they're good too, but they were heavier. This was the lightest lift capacity ratio grapple I could find. So, you know, because if I would have went with a bigger grapple, a heavier one, it would have already taken a lot of weight away from the lifting capacity, which is also more limited than other tractors. So, but this is my number one implement for the kind of work I do. As you can see here, I've done a lot of lifting here, and these logs were actually too big. And this kind of brings me to the topic about my opinion about getting a tractor, or if I had to do it over again, what I would do. I honestly have put too much on this tractor. I do think the arms, I do think my arms maybe a little bit off square now. And as you can see here on this grapple, it's kind of bent right here. So when I go put it on, or even my bucket, I kind of have to do one side at a time. So I think my arms are a little bent, I guess you could say, or off square. I don't know. So like I said, I do honestly put too much on it. And that's where I wish I would have gotten a bigger one. But the way I am is, if a job needs to be done, I'm just going to do everything I can. If this tractor can possibly do it, budget, pull it, push it, I'm gonna make it do it, you know, and that could be a fault. But that's just how I am. Okay, so here comes my opinion, for whatever it's worth, on tractors. I do wish I would have went bigger. You know, I went from a mower, so when I got on the bigger ones, when I went to the dealer to try them out, I was a little bit intimidated, and I felt like I couldn't really get a good feel of the size of the tractor, you know, as I was going through the parking lot and things. But I promise, once you get it, it may seem big, but like a big truck, a big vehicle, whatever, you eventually get used to it, and you get a good feel of where it's at and things. So as I said, I put too much on this tractor, and for its size, it's incredible. You know, I mean, all I can say is about this Kubota. I can't say about other brands. I'm sure they're good too. But this is an absolute workhorse. I put too much on it. I ask too much of it. But I can't help it, because this is all I've got. This is all I've got. So whenever I can, I'm going to try and upgrade to a bigger one. And I'm going to trade this one in and go for the bigger one. I'm probably going to go for 55 to 60. Now, I don't know y'all's budget. Whenever I say the biggest, I would recommend you get the biggest tractor you can afford. That's within reason. You know, if you just have 5 acres, but you can afford a 100 horsepower tractor, don't get a 100 horsepower tractor. So, you know, within reason, the biggest one that you can afford, because you never know what you're going to get into. You know, you're going to have the tractor, and even though at first, if you've got property and you don't think you're going to really be doing much with it, things change. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, I knew I needed a grapple, but I didn't really realize just the kind of lifting capacity that I would need. So this tractor has done incredible for me. The amount of work that I've actually gotten done on my property, I just couldn't have done it without it. So I hope this video helps you. Again, this was more about buying a tractor than buying a Kubota, although I do recommend Kubota. There's other good brands out there as well. So just do your research. My biggest complaint is how they went about the regen. It's always at a wrong time. And if you run your RPMs too high while the tractor is trying to regen, it will cut off on you, just as if it just dead. It will cut off and stay off for probably about a good 45 minutes. It just overheats. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to work through the regen, which my dealer told me you can, keep that in mind, because you don't want to be working near a fire pile or something, God forbid, and then it turn off because it overheats from the regen, and you're right there and you can't do nothing. So keep that in mind. And Hope this video helps you. Again, do your research of what implements you may need. I would recommend starting out with the box blade as far as the back, depending on what you have. But a box blade is very versatile. And then I highly recommend a grapple if you can justify it. If you don't have any woods on your property and you have mostly open fields, then don't waste your money. So, but those are just my two favorite attachments there. So hope this video has helped y'all. Please like and subscribe for more. We're constantly doing stuff. We've got big plans here. Behind me, we're putting in a pasture, and we've got a couple of horses on the other side. There's the barn, and look at these big logs. These logs are huge, and my tractor was just really creaking and cracking under the load, but I went slow. Sometimes it's good to just try and pull the log by the end. So all right, well, I'm going to sign off. I hope again this video has helped y'all. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any other questions, and we'll talk to y'all later.